we go. Hi, everybody. I think I'm live. Not sure. So if you can tell me whether you see me or not, that would be wonderful. And then I'll know whether to continue. Welcome. Welcome. I'm so thrilled you're here today. This is a wonderful time to come together right at the beginning of a new month, a new energy, as we build up to the new moon in Virgo. We've got a lot to talk about. So as we get settling in here together, we're from all over, aren't we? I mean, I'm here in Marathona, about an hour out of Athens. Where are you? Some of you might be round the corner. So we're in a build-up to a new moon. And a new moon, as we build up to from a full moon to a new moon, this is a wonderful time for getting rid of anything you don't want. So brilliant time for detoxing, doing anything that is good for your body, your well-being. We're in Virgo time. So Virgo time and Pisces time, because we've got the new moon on the 6th, 7th of September, and we've got the full moon on the 23rd of September, so just after the equinox. So we're right in a mutable time where a lot of change, even more change, is on its way. So the advantage of this time is that you've got an opportunity to create a more streamlined living, not to have so many things that you probably don't need. Now, I'm talking about this on a physical level, but I'm also talking about it, about the people in your life. And you might already be finding that some of the people in your life are slipping away maybe, or you just don't feel as though you're on the same resonance together anymore. There's a shift. And Mars is opposite Neptune. So we've got Mars in Virgo, Neptune in Pisces. So Mars wants to go, and Neptune just wants to chill. So you've got a real energy of maybe wanting to move forward and maybe not feeling like moving forward, or moving forward and then feeling as though the brakes are on. So let's look at the frequency, because all the signs have a different frequency. And if you can tune into the frequencies that are prevalent right now during this month of September, then you can float or even fly above a lot of the challenges, a lot of the difficulties, a lot of the glue, the things that feel, might feel as though we're wading through glue. So this is just a wonderful time for us to explore, because remember, we're doing this together. This is never just me talking at you. Never is. We are co-creating here together. You are my soul family. And we can go to the highest frequencies together. The higher the frequency, the more we don't get sucked into all of the other stuff. So let's now look at Virgo and Pisces, because these are the frequencies until just after the equinox on the 23rd. Then the sun is going to go into Libra, and there's a change of energy again. But until then, right now it's strongly Virgo. So let's look at Virgo. And you somewhere in your chart will have Virgo. No matter, yeah, it might not look like it, might look a little peculiar. You might say, I don't think I've got Virgo anywhere. And that's what many of you say to me. I can't find Virgo. You will have it somewhere. I'm having a little trouble with the live chat. Yeah, usually that's coming in super fast, and it seems to be very slow. So I just want to say thank you to Lucy and April, who are moderating here, doing a wonderful job. So what's the highest expressions of Virgo? And let's look at the more difficult ones that we're going to see around. So the first thing around Virgo is judgment, judging, critical. And I think we've got to be so careful about judging one another and judging yourself, because you may not see the whole picture. There's the Pisces. The Pisces sees the big picture, and the Virgo narrows it down. Very small. So Virgo is ruling the head, ruled by Mercury, and Pisces ruled by Neptune. Neptune ruling the feet. And in the feet, of course, is everything that is above it. So we're dealing with the balancing of order, which is Virgo, and chaos, which is Pisces. And you might be finding that in your life. Maybe you are finding that. Are you finding that? Because I don't know what's happening with the chat. Usually we can interact, but all right. This is how it is. You see, the Pisces energy just says, if you can't change it, surrender to it, accept it. And if you can, the Virgo says, right, well, what can we do that will be an intelligent choice? So you might find in your life that you've got order in one part of your life and chaos breaking out somewhere else. Maybe in relationships or in finances. We're looking at the Virgo energy, which is about control. And we're looking at how much can we control the virus? Can we control the situation, the wildfires, the floods, the bombs, all of it? And how much is just out of our control? And same with your life right now. What can you control? What are the things you can make not really good decisions about? And Virgo would be asking you to make new decisions around your health and well-being. So what practical steps could you take, especially with daily habits? Virgo rules your daily habits, what you do on a daily basis. So I've started, one of my new daily habits is to sit quietly at the table and only eat when I'm eating. So, and eat slowly and chew at least 25 times every mouthful. And it's hard. You've got to be really there in the moment. And I'm noticing how much more I'm enjoying the food. It was all over the place before, not conscious. So Virgo asks you to simplify every little detail of your life and to become really highly aware of what's going on. Virgo rules science. So this is a really important time to get really informed about what's happening. With Mars opposite Neptune, we're being told all kinds of things as to what's going on in the media. There's a lot of censorship. This is Mars-Neptune energy. Neptune just sort of censors things. Mars is people going ahead and Neptune just, oh, you know, it suddenly got lost or it suddenly got taken down. So what's something practical you could do for your health? I'd love to be sharing here, but I think the chat is not working. Is that right? Could somebody tell me whether it's working? Could Lucy tell me, please? Lucy, would you text me or something? Because I don't know, it feels like I'm talking to thin air. But it's okay. Pisces says, just trust. Don't get into your head. Trust that it's all right. So the other thing to be thinking about, all this mental energy going on, is the chat is working. Okay, thank you. So with all this mental energy, is to think about your words, your thoughts. Can you create more cleanliness in your thinking? Because what you're thinking is affecting your physical well-being, your immune system. So the more aware you can be about what you're thinking about and what you're reading about, and start cleaning up the act with the Virgo energy, because the Virgo energy will help you. Yeah, it's a helpful energy. And the Neptune energy will help you to release past hurts, erase the memories of things that have hurt you in the past. So we're dealing with the tangible, which is the Virgo energy, and the intangible, which is the Pisces. And it's about learning which one to use when. So a lot of trust, a lot of faith has really been shattered. I don't know how you feel. I can't read the chat. I know I wish I could, because I usually answer you in the chat. Yeah, so I apologize that this is happening. I don't know quite how to correct it, but maybe I'll just try a new page here. Maybe that will help here. See if I can reconnect here. And talk about reconnecting. So one of the big things about this month, especially as we move towards the end of it, when Mercury will go retrograde, we've got a tremendous amount of retrograding energy. All the 5 outer planets are retrograde. And then Mercury will join them on the 25th of the month. So it's going to be important to go inwards, internally, and to really ask your guides, ask within, ask deep inside for your answers, because that's where your answers are going to come. And there's a lot of questions out there. A lot of questions. Yeah, that's great. Yes, Wanda. Well, the miscommunication is probably going to be one of the things you need to look out for most this month. Miscommunications, misunderstandings. So I'm going to suggest, if you're doing something really important or whatever it is, any conversation, repeat back to somebody what you think they asked or what you think they said, because that will be really helpful. And you'll avoid getting into the quagmire of misunderstandings. You might find relationships come to a head. And old relationships that no longer feed you, that no longer nourish you, you might need to just cut them dead. And not just keep going and keep trying. You see, the Virgo energy really wants to help everybody. Yeah, Virgo rules service. I know I'm like that. I really would love to help everybody. And I think you're like that too. But we can't help everybody. And that's been a real awakener for me this last week. I realize I've had somebody in my life for a while who, it's just, there's no, how to say, there's no reason to continue this relationship at all. I mean, it's a peripheral relationship, but nonetheless, cut your ties so that you can free your energy. I can still love the person, but you don't have to be giving your precious energy at the moment to it. You can put that energy that's going to something where it's depleting you and you're losing power, and you can put it into something that gives you power, that boosts you. And rather be on your own than with people or somebody where it's just not uplifting, and you know it. And Virgo is very much about, yeah, let's have it out on the table. Let's analyze. So we're still under this influence of the square between Saturn and Uranus. So we're seeing a lot of demonstrations, disagreements. I have to be honest, I went to my first ever demonstration here in Greece. Right, I mean, Greece, you know, they're always having demonstrations. But this was the first one I went to. Now, why did I go? Because it's not my cup of tea, I can tell you. I'm not good with crowds. I'm certainly frightened of police with tear gas and water bombs. But when Yanni, my friend, said that he would meet me there, I said, all right, I'll go, because I felt really strongly that I needed just to put my presence there. So what are you feeling strongly about? And why did I feel that? Well, there are many reasons. But one of them, and I'm aware that I might get into a sticky wicket here. So I'm not pro or anti-vaccine. Let me just put that on the table. I've had that many vaccines as a child. Yeah, so I'm certainly not pro or anti. But what I am and this, you know, personal here, it's a personal thing, I am against is certain freedoms that are being taken away. And maybe and it's happening very, very quickly. And we need to be thinking and saying, you know, is this right? Does this sit well with me? Or does it not sit well with me? Oh, Dean, happy birthday tomorrow. Yay. So what does not sit well with me, for example, is that certain workers are being now mandated to have the vaccine. And I realize it's a hot subject and I can feel the heat and the steam going, but okay, let's have it out. But as far as I can see, from my understanding and my research, if you're going to mandate people to do something, there needs to be some kind of liability if it goes wrong. This is this Neptune-Mars energy. Yeah, Mars pushing you to do something. And Neptune, is it the truth? Is it true? Is it true what I'm being told? And who takes liability if something goes wrong? These vaccines, as far as I know, don't have a manufacturer liability. And the government takes no liability. So what if something happens to one of these workers? Who takes liability? Who has to fight for that? And these are issues. These are just questions. I'm putting the questions out there. That's all. And that we can have sensible discussions. And again, this energy of miscommunication. And I'm hoping that what I'm saying is clear here. I'm not miscommunicating. I'm trying to say something clear. But as a Libra, and Libra energy is coming up, I need a feeling of things being equitable and not just being pushed through without any opportunity for discussion, with lots and lots and lots of censorship. And data being, is it true, is it not? So you might be questioning that. And it's a very, very, exactly, thank you, personal decisions should not be forced. And if they are forced, then who is liable if something goes wrong? Big question. I do enjoy watching Chris Martenson. Sorry, Lucy, I'm giving you something else. But he said, you know, that recently General Motors released the electric car, 37,000 of them, and 2 were set on fire, and they've recalled all of them. Why? Because they're liable. There's a manufacturer liability. So, I don't know. But if somebody, you know, dies as a result of the vaccine or dies as a result of certain things, there are just questions here. I'm not saying I've got the answers, and I'm putting a lot out there, but I think it's all bubbling, yeah? And what's important is that we don't get sucked under into the argumentative energy, but we see that we're in this soup together, and we must find ways to work together. Because once you start forcing things without discussion, this is the energy that we're in, then you begin to create chaos, which is the Piscean energy. So how are we going to deal with this, right? So on a personal level, clean your closets, clean out your stuff if you can. What's negative in your thinking? Who do you think of on a regular basis negatively? That has to get erased. Right? However you can do it, sing it out, dance it out, paint it out, hum it out. It doesn't matter how you do it. Write it out, get it out. And this is one of the best times between now and this new moon, towards the new moon. Fantastic time. So if you want to do a cleanse, if you want to clean your closets, if you want to get things organized, and you want to create some order or a sense of order, because, you know, there is a need for a sense of order, this is the time. This is a really good time. And at the same time, we've got the Piscean energy lurking there, and it's coming up at the time of the equinox. We need other tools in our toolbox. You see, Virgo's the toolbox. So let's create the toolbox together. What tools have you got in your toolbox? For example, one of mine is the painting, which I shared, and many of you have enjoyed it. I nearly didn't share it because I feel a little, uncomfortable with sharing it, but it seems like it's something now that's brought out a lot of creativity and fun. So we get away from all that mental thinking. Yeah, it's good and it's necessary. We've got to have breaks from it. We've got to have times where you just go off sailing. And that's the Piscean energy. And for those of you that have enjoyed those painting videos, let me know, because I will do some more, and maybe you'll get your paints and we'll join in together. We do creative things together. And I would love to see you share on Facebook or share on my community page your artwork, what you're creating now, what you're inspired to do. Because the creative energy, the music, yeah, it passes all boundaries. That's the Pisces, that's the Neptune. Yeah, we like different kinds of music, but you know, when you play something, it can bring hundreds and thousands of us together with that frequency of the music. And I will play something. I've got my piano here today, so we'll play something at the end. So it's important to find the balance between your left brain, which is the Virgo, and your right brain, which is the Pisces. And they use both. It's a bit like the Pleiadians. Since I started to channel, they absolutely insisted that I wrote with my left hand. Now, it took a while, but I do it now. From time to time, I do a little bit of each. I'm still quicker with my right, but I can write with the left, and also I can chop vegetables now with my left hand. Now, that took a while too. So it's about becoming ambidextrous, working with both energies and not getting stuck in one for too long, but using it positively. Don't know if that's Lucy telling me something here. No, it's not. So relationships may have a real volatility at this time. I would say the animals are very much ruled by Virgo and Pisces. Virgo rules the small animals, and Pisces the bigger animals. So connecting with animals is extremely healing, soothing. sometimes, if I've had maybe a difficult call, or something's been difficult, or I've received an official notice and I've had a bit of a, when you just go into I have that because I can't understand written Greek well enough yet. And I get one of these notices and it's like, wow. But then I'll go outside and Doni, the cat, will be there, and immediately I'm soothed. So the animals can soothe away and do soothe and do clear our energy fields. They really do. And if you don't have a live animal, you can always have teddies. Just to, lovely. So Angela loves to dance and cross stitch. Lovely. What do you love to do? What's in your toolbox? Yeah, what have you got that you can pull out when there's a woof? Yeah, because we're dealing with a lot of different energies. And many of you, I would imagine, are empaths and super sensitive. And you're picking up on all kinds of energies. So it's important. The Virgo energy is showing you, right, how do I clean it? Having a clean space, a clean head space. Doesn't it feel great when you've had a shower? It's like whoosh. So showering is good. Yeah, if you've had a negative something, boom, get in the shower. That helps me every time. What are the things? Gazing into the clouds. Shauna, beautiful. Singing and tarot. Trin, lovely. Dancing, says Catherine. Dance is a medicine. Sewing, Larissa, beautiful. And working out. So have several things if you can, so that you can catch it quickly. Because it's like a spiral of energy. Once you get sucked into it, it's like a rip tide. And it's like, zoom, it just takes you in. And then it's just more difficult to dig yourself out. So if we know this kind of energy is here, these are the tools that you can do. And it's important because the Virgo energy is your practical health. It's things that you do to keep you healthy, vitamin C, D, sunshine, singing, smiling, walking. What are the things you do practically? And the next question is, what are the things you do for the Neptune energy, the Pisces energy? What do you do spiritually? Yeah, for your spiritual health. Because both are very important. If your spiritual health isn't okay, your physical health and well-being and immune system won't be as strong as it could be. So it's that uplift of emotions. It's that uplift of the feeling. Don't let your head go down. Don't let it droop down when you're out. Yeah, see if you can be conscious of having your head up. Really, even when you look up, I notice that I look up at the stars a lot here because it's beautiful in the countryside here. You can't be sad when you're looking up, at least not for long. Yeah. So, yeah, Veronica's agreeing, looking up to the sky for an instant high vibe. So martial arts, Radhika, yeah. Writing, emceeing, dancing, yeah. Helping others, Angela, yeah. And you can help others so much more if your aura is clean and you feel filled up. That's why it's really important to get away from relationships that are draining your energy. Doesn't mean rejecting the person, just that you're cleaning up your energy field. And it's something you've got to be doing. Yeah, you don't sort of clean the house and then you never do it again. You've got to keep doing it. just not obsessively. It's that sort of Virgo gets obsessive sometimes. No, not to an obsessive degree, but it's about simplifying. Yeah, feeling gratitude, great for your spiritual growth, the meditation, of course. Yeah, tarot, astrology, all of these mystical arts. Yeah. So we've got, I think this is important because I think there's going to be more miscommunications possibly in the pot. So thank you everybody for liking the video. Lucy and April are working really hard here. They're encouraging you to like. The more that you like, the more of our brothers and sisters can join us here in this higher frequency. This is a high frequency broadcast, and you're co-creating it. And then you can take this energy with you wherever you go, and then that spreads out. That spreads out further, you see. It is unstoppable, you know. The future is bright. The future is good. Thank you, Dean. I appreciate that very much. So it's about stretching beyond this limit, because there's something about Virgo sometimes that wants things just as they are and doesn't want them to be changed or moved. And the Pisces says, well, you know, I'm not a finite being. Yeah, the Virgo says, you know, things are finite. It's very much earth energy. So getting in touch with earth, connecting to earth, but being aware that you are infinite, infinite, and that you can connect into infinite energies. And that's what we're doing here together. We're dealing with certain practicalities of life that we've got to deal with. And enjoying life, the pleasures of the senses, using the mind wisely and kindly, with kind thoughts. And then tuning into something that is so much bigger. And you're a part of that too. So how can you stretch yourself? Yeah, it's always this sense of going, yeah, it was a big stretch for me to do that painting and show you a couple of examples of painting, the process of channeling painting. And it's always different. So I will do some more, since there seems to be a demand. So it's important that we get into this energy of forgiveness. Yeah, there's so much history still going on. Yeah. And I've got a great quote here, really, from C.S. Lewis, who says, everybody says forgiveness is a lovely idea until they have something to forgive. And it is true, is it not? It's not always easy. But as you forgive, you clean yourself again. Yeah, you clean yourself. It's not your stuff. You're not hanging on to it anymore. September the 15th until October the 7th. This is important. Thank you, Shauna. I appreciate that. Venus and Mars are in what's called astrologically mutual reception. So it means they're in each other's sign, right? It's a bit like, hey, you're in my place. And they will say, oh, you're in mine. So it's not a comfortable energy. Yeah, from the 15th, on the 11th, Venus goes into Scorpio. On the 15th, Mars goes into Libra, right? So Venus is ruled Libra, and Mars is much more comfortable in Scorpio than it is in Libra. Okay, so they're not very comfortable in those placements. So I would be extremely careful with contracts, with anything that needs an agreement. And I would have everything in writing. And I can feel this energy coming, yeah? Because already my landlord here, you know, I always insist to just have a little email. I'm always in credit. Always. I like to just sleep at night. And he just gave me his accounting for this month. And it was €1,000 out in his favor. And I was like, you know, I had one of those moments like you do. And then I just looked at the email trail and I was able just to quietly and calmly email him back and say, I think there was a miscommunication. Did you see that email? This is the credit. And within an hour or two, it was all cleared up. So make sure you're leaving paper trails or email trails or message trails, and you keep as good records as you can with this energy. And with Mercury going retrograde on the 25th of the month until the 19th of October, Mercury retrograde in Libra, and Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, all these outer planets retrograde. Don't be surprised if global issues are quite difficult to play out. Yeah, globally things may be quite sticky. And just to think before you respond to anything that comes to you. Go into a deeply reflective space. It's a very reflective energy. It's not something that's out there and being terribly action-oriented. Doesn't mean to say you can't take action, but don't take the action until you've really had time to reflect, to percolate. Yeah, you know how it is. If you take the coffee out too soon, it's not percolated properly. So make sure you've got percolated. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. So we are going to be okay. Yeah, we are moving to a new energetic field. There's going to be a lot more chaos probably. That's why if you can use the Virgo energy to simplify your life, every day set yourself 3 baby tasks, 3 top ones. That's all. And just do them. If you get to do more, fabulous. But keep it very simple. So talking about things that are creative, I just wanted to share with you some more of this beautiful jewelry from modern day manifestations. It's really gorgeous. I don't know if you can see that. They're in New Zealand and it's handcrafted, handmade, healing stones, healing energies. Just absolutely beautiful. I find it very soothing, very healing. They're made with cruelty-free vegan products, and they've got a 50% sale off various items. And if you enter the code ASTRO, you will get another 15% off your first order. And here's another beautiful specimen here. So they're really gorgeous, and they're handmade creatively by our brothers and sisters in New Zealand, all over New Zealand. So I'm going to encourage you to feel things out with the Neptunian energy. Feel it. sense it, trust your intuition. I have that many people who send me messages. Are you talking to me on WhatsApp? And I'm like, no, I never solicit business. So there's a lot of scammers out there on Instagram. As soon as we take one off, another 10 come on. People think I'm on WhatsApp offering you things. I really never do that. So trust your intuition. If it's not feeling right, don't do it. Wait. I think a key word this month, September, would be wait and see. Before you commit yourself to something, say to yourself, just going to wait and see, at least until October the 19th when Mercury goes direct. Let me think about that. If somebody's pushing you to do something that you're not sure about, let me think about that. I'll get back to you. Give yourself breathing space. It's important. And forgiveness is going to be really a key thing here. So Mark Twain's beautiful quote, forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. So I wanted to end up with a song to sweeten things. What can you do to sweeten somebody's world? Yeah, I think we've got quite a lot of bitter pills that we're dealing with. So I'm just going to play for you just a spoonful of sugar. Yeah. And just let's get into this energy of how can I make this sweeter? What can I do that will make me smile here in this situation, or make another person smile? Here we go. Oh dear. First of all, I've got to ask the question. Can you hear, could you hear that? Because the last time the music didn't play. So I'll wait a moment until the chat comes back. Okay, so can you hear it? Can you first hear that little bit? And I'm going to have to find this. 1 minute, I am coming back, I promise. It's Mercury Retrograde. I'm just having a bit of a blip. Oh, you can hear it. Awesome. Together now. I'm losing it because I've just suddenly got nervous. So let's get off it. We'll breathe and we'll do it again together. Just let's breathe. Thank you for your patience. I'm sending you so, so much love. May this be an uplifting month where your frequency rises and rises, and we bring so many people with us together to a cleaner, toxic-free, creative, beautiful new earth. That's what we're working towards here. Connecting. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, April. Thank you for those who've been very generously contributing here, those on Patreon who generously contribute. And I just love you. Bye for now.